Hi, Florian. How are you?
Hi, Angelos. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So what is the challenge for today?
The challenge for today is, it sounds like everybody can be a coach. Why is it so important to get professional training and professional certification as a coach?
I think you have something in your mind and there's something that you have read that you want to talk about.
I recently, that's correct. I recently found a blog entry where somebody writes, it's easy to be a coach. Don't worry about certification. Don't worry about training. Yeah, just get started. Yeah, you need your marketing, you need your message, you need your niche, and you can be a coach. And I think that's a very dangerous message.
It is a dangerous message. Imagine someone saying that for architects, for example, or engineers. It's easy to be an engineer, and you don't need to be certified. You really need to be certified. You really need to be, even if you don't care about getting a certification, you really need to go all the way. You really need to do the journey because you need the training. Can you imagine some reasons why this is important?
Yes, there are multiple reasons because this is not just a nice chat. Because if it's nice chat, then your client will very fast be very disappointed because you don't deliver results. But whenever you cause change, there's also the risk that the change goes sideways and goes negative. If you don't cause anything, then why bother? But if you do cause, and we have a deep conversation with difficult questions, these can bring difficult answers. And what you do with them when you're not trained. So while architects and pediatricians and even people who drive cars have to be legally certified, in most countries it's not necessary to be legally certified as a coach. And that's a good thing because that means we can shape the certification and the training really as it is needed and not like some legal entity decides. But at the same time, as coaches, we have the responsibility to be trained.
And I would like to bring into the conversation one or more, two more things. Like, well, when you start, what is the most important in our profession is word of mouth. So this is what makes you or breaks you. So let's say that you get a great client, but you don't deliver results, as you said, and you lose credibility in the market. That's the hardest thing to build. Well, the other thing that I could imagine is that you might trigger something in the conversation that you cannot really handle. So you will end up with losing credibility again. Or so I'm borrowing this from a conversation I had recently with a junior coach. So he's starting the business, but he's not that well experienced. So there are some times when he delivers good sessions, but he becomes exhausted because he has not learned how to balance that, how to balance who he is in the conversation and how he can be of service to the client and at the same time protect himself. Be empathetic, understand, listen, connect in a way that produces results, but in the same way, remain of service, remain fit for purpose. That is, you cannot have that if you have not been properly trained. And I'm not just talking about attending webinars somewhere. I'm not just talking about going to a public speech or listening how, I don't know, some people that are famous are doing something else and they call it coaching, and you think coaching is telling people what to do. It's totally the opposite, right? Am I right?
Absolutely. You don't tell people what to do. That's not coaching. Now, for coaching, the most important thing you have to learn is to listen. And you have to practice that. And like everything else, this is not something that says, okay, you tell me, I got it. No. This is something you have to practice. And this is why the coach training takes months. It is very intense. And people may say, yeah, but I can talk to my friends. But that's not coaching. So if you really want to have an impact, you have to know how to go about and how to ask the really difficult questions. You have to learn what to do with your own inner monologue. And you have to get to know yourself. So every coach training, it's also learning about yourself. And part of the coach training is basically being coached.
Be coached, yes. And we do that. We incorporate that in our training. But I like what you touched upon, the friendships. So sometimes I've been asked this kind of thing, and I'm doing the comparison. I find this being very helpful. When you're with a friend, usually you care about that person. You do care about that person. You are being empathetic. Yes, you are. Do you want that person to change? Not really. Not always. You might want that person to change, sometimes in minor things, but you don't want that person to change that much that your relation with that person will be challenged. You don't want to challenge the status quo between you. So there is, and I don't mean to say that friendship is not worthy. I mean to say that it's completely different. When you're coaching someone, you want to help that person to change. In your relation with that person, you know that you will not be always together. You don't have any kind of attachment to that person. You are there just to serve that person to achieve the change that, excuse me, he needs or she needs.
You have yeah, absolutely, Angelos. You have a professional relationship. And this professional relationship also includes a very strict code of ethics. And I think we should invite everybody who listens to us now also to listen to or to talk about the specific aspects of ethics in coaching, because I think that's a core element.
Yes, ethics are very important. And it differentiates our profession from many other professions. Following the rules and knowing what's the best way to do and abiding by the code of ethics is what makes our profession credible.
So, what do you tell people when they say it's too expensive?
Well, I would not say that it's expensive because it's an investment. Can you say that an investment is expensive? Can you say that you're not worth of any kind of investment because you will not get the money back, because the money that you throw to yourself will be wasted? I think if you don't see that as an investment, then you should not do that. You should not do even the first step. But however, I get what you're saying. So when you're talking from a monetary view, am I ever going to take that money back? I think this is a very well-paid profession, and for a good reason, because it produces the outcomes, the results, the new possibilities for, I don't know, individuals, entrepreneurs, and executives, CEOs, and so on. So it creates great worth for those in their life, in their businesses, or their teams, and so on. I would say that the standard price right now for coaching an executive in Europe, it's 200 euros when you're coaching an executive. So if you multiply that by a small number of clientele that you can build when you're starting coaching, I think pretty soon, the first year and a half, you will have all your money back. If you're good enough, you will multiply your money very quick.
And, if the real question is, can you afford to get coach training? Or can you afford not to get coach training? Because ultimately, you will talk to people And you will ask them to pay for your time. And if you live with the mindset it's not worth it, how will you convince them that it's worth it?
Point.
And then you end up sitting in the park, talking to people, and the sun is shining and it's fine, but it has nothing to do with coaching. So I think these are the good reasons, and I would like to invite everybody to join us in our talk about ethics, and also reach out to us, because as you said, we do offer both group conversations and one-on-one conversations for people interested in basically starting with Positivity Global. And there's a reason why it's called Positivity Global, as you explained to me, because it's really available to everybody around the world.
That's right. And I think it's been delivered by people around the world at the same time, to people around the world. And it's also global in the sense that the education, the experience, how we blend the practice, the reflection, the supervision, the mentoring, the tutoring, and everything in the program is catalyzing you very, very fast, and you will become something that is not widely available. This kind of coaching competency is not widely available, and it's not. And I think it also comes with a lot of love about the profession, a lot of experience, different perspectives, and so join us.
We have so many different. Yes, we have the big paid program. We also have workshops. We also have free programs. So people should just join up and
join the community and see the support that you will have, and see the growth, witness the growth inside of you, and start working with in service of others, coaching others.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
We talk soon. Okay, be safe.
Well, and it's all that one.